everyone, I'm Jessica Speer, and thank you to the team at the Boulder Bookstore for inviting me to share about my latest book, which is called The Phone Book. This is my third middle grade nonfiction, and this one's called The Phone Book. Stay safe, be smart, and make the world better with the powerful device in your hand. And I was inspired to write this just as the pandemic was getting underway and we were all diving into our screens. And as the mom of a preteen and a teen, there was a lot of things I wanted to talk about with my kids as far as healthy digital habits and online safety. So this inspired me. I wondered if I could write a book that could really be a resource for kids and families as they navigate the online world. So as a nonfiction writer, I always start with research. And the good news on this project is there was a lot of research happening on the impact of kids and phones and screens. And so I dove in. Some of the organizations I really followed closely was one called Children's and Screens. Common Sense Media is conducting a lot of research. And there's a lot of pioneers in this area. One is Diana Graeber, who's been working for years on the impact of kids and screens. And she's the author of Raising Kids in a Digital World. So luckily there was a lot of information out there that I started to comb through as this book started to take shape. So one of the unexpected pitfalls of when preteens and teens get a phone is we often think they're going to be so connected now, with their peers, they won't be lonely, but that is not always the case. Sometimes when a young adult has a phone and they're looking out at the world and they see their friends out there doing things, they see other people having fun that they're not having, it actually can prompt a lot of FOMO, which is a lot for the adolescent brain to take on. So that's something to watch out for and really to talk to with kids. And I go into that in the book, what this FOMO feels like and how to navigate those tough emotions. So what is the most appropriate age for kids to get a phone? This is a tough one for families to navigate. I almost wish that, like a driver's license, there was a certain age, that kids would get this responsibility, and then the whole year before that, they're practicing and learning, for that responsibility. We're not there yet with phones, so families are trying to navigate this the best they can. And what I can offer is think about these three things. First, your child, what is their age? What is their temperament? What are their responsibility levels? Two, think about the content. So are we starting really small and this is really just about having the ability to text and make phone calls, or are we really opening up a window to the world, access to social media and browsers and things like that? So there's a lot of space in between there. So think about what it is your child will be doing on that phone. And then lastly is the communication piece at home. So there's some really clear boundaries and guidelines at home to help support kids. I encourage families to really come up with some sort of digital and tech agreement at home that's in place and really clear, before they even go there to the cell phones. So just some things to think about as they navigate this really tough decision for families. So there are many ways that kids can use their phones in positive ways. And in the book, I share a lot of amazing stories in this regard. Some kids doing really big things and some doing little things, all making a difference. So one simple thing is just to use your phone to spread kindness, cheering on your peers and being kind. That is so simple, but it has a really big ripple effect. So here is a short passage from chapter 1, which is called Why Tech Companies Want You Staring at Your Screen. And this chapter begins with a screen story called Gavin's Lost Morning. Gavin's two favorite things are soccer and technology. When he's not scoring goals on the field, he loves watching videos, playing games, and connecting with friends online. On Saturday, Gavin's phone buzzes him awake. His friends want him to join their video game. He dives right in and plays for an hour before his mom calls him downstairs for breakfast. As he logs out, he notices a bunch of DMs on social media. He responds and then scrolls through his feed. One post links to a video of dogs doing tricks. He watches a few more. Another half hour passes. His mom calls him to eat again. While closing the videos to head downstairs, Gavin sees a Snapchat notification reminding him about his 92-day streak. So he quickly takes a snap. His mom, now fuming, storms into his room and takes his phone. He's going to be late for his soccer game. Gavin throws on his uniform, grabs his soccer bag, and glances at the clock. His game starts in 15 minutes. So much for breakfast. He grabs a banana on his way out the door. Hopefully he has everything he needs. Where did Gavin's morning go? That's a simple question with a not so simple answer. The obvious answer is that Gavin spent his morning on his phone, duh. The complicated answer is that he spent his morning putting cash in the pockets of tech companies with his screen time. Cha-ching, here's how. Most search engines, games, videos, and social media apps are free, but they're not really free. Many tech companies collect user data and sell ad space to other companies to make money. YouTube, social media, and games profit from advertising. As Gavin scrolled through his feed, watched videos, and played games, he saw ads placed by tech companies who are hoping to sell him stuff. Companies spend billions of dollars each year to reach kids and teens like Gavin with ads. Ads for new shoes, new games, new snacks. Ads for just about everything. The more time you spend on your screen, the more ad space tech companies sell and the more money they make. Who knew your eyeballs were worth so much? Since screen time equals money, it makes sense that tech companies want to keep eyes on devices. So how do they keep people looking at screens? Like any magician, companies have tricks up their sleeves. Abracadabra, introducing persuasive design.